Welcome Galactic family. My dear ones. Many of you are confused by the emotions you are experiencing. Sometimes you seem to react unlike your emotional comfort zone. You are adrift, from one unusual reaction to another, concerned that your normal behaviors have slipped, trying to return to your expected self, with no further benefit. Who am I? It has become a frightened cry even though his new emotional reactions are erasing many of his past fears. The unusual emotions they are facing now are part of their transition, but they are not necessarily you. If they were actors, you would try many roles until you find out which roles best suit your personalities, whether Shakespeare or comedians. They would probably find that while they could play all the roles on the stage, not everyone would be comfortable. His current emotional change occurs on two levels. You are testing yourself, because much of your pre-transition personalities have been developed for comfort in 3D society. In addition, your emotions are fluctuating rapidly, you are changing the emotional repertoire, stopping before you select the emotional scale that best suits your personalities in this new world. If you were a 3D emotional caregiver, you could have adapted to a happy, light personality as a way of counterbalancing the fears in your immediate world. And the same is true if you were scared or angry most of the time. So you have adapted your personalities to blend more easily into your world. Perhaps their families were so dysfunctional in terms of 3D that they felt the need to become a reflection of that dysfunction, or abnormally gay, or pretending to themselves and others that there was nothing good about their family dynamics. Even though there were many other roles you played within your 3D life IANS, those three were probably the most dominant. You have acted for society instead of acting on your true emotions. And so they continued life after life, while internalizing more fear and having more roles to counter these fears. Now you are reviewing the roles that have been most beneficial in your various 3D earthly lives, and those also in your new comfort zone. You can believe that you would be more comfortable with the joy and the delicious laughs, even if this is not necessarily true. As in 3D, each of you will select the person who best suits you. The difference is that your new role or character will be based on your inner needs, rather than the external dynamics. Maybe such a thought is confusing, even scary. Does this concept mean that you will not be happy? Not at all. Instead, you can feel the joy rather than inventing an object, or choose to laugh at a big deal every day. Which is little different from determining the roles of actor comfort on stage. You are finally yourself, not a caricature, as was the case in the past. And to figure this out, you are examining your false 3D and 5D emotions or beyond. So you are likely to experience great emotional fluctuations in the next few days, for you find your true self not the self that you have created as a result of your environment, but the self that is joy only in being. Perhaps you have dreamed of becoming a stuffed self, as it is true for some children, but not for all. It would be useful to observe the variety of personalities exhibited by a group of young children. Some like stuffed animals, some are serious about learning a new activity, and others are thrilled with their current interest. There are no duties in your 5D beyond emotional behavior. So there are no drawers either, so you should fit in if you are interacting with a specific group of people. You are discovering your emotional comfort zone by cleaning up your 3D and 5D slate or beyond the expected emotions. Expect you to react in 5D or beyond, as you once did in 3D, is not to think about the logic of this concept. Your 3D emotions were based on your needs to fit, not necessarily, into your true self. We have ventured to guess that you have already discovered some of the roles hidden deep within yourself, and which now do not seem at all comfortable. So you're saying no to this or that reaction. At the same time, you can switch to another role where you are most comfortable reading your various news scripts. You are coming to an emotional halt, neither 3D nor 5D or beyond. In a sense, as if they were between performances on stage. The difference is that the role you have finally selected will be based on yourself rather than social. A role that will seem so right that you no longer have to worry about what to say or do in any situation for your reactions to be natural, just as a child's reactions are natural until he or she is trained differently. So, you are going from emotion to emotion, surprising yourself and those around you, just as children do before they are trained to act according to the rules of the environment. You are cleansing, testing, and experimenting as you discover your new you emotionally. Allow yourself to be only for the next few days, for the floating energies are different from the ones you have experienced. Even if the current energies are energies of love, they are energies of emotional love, dedicated so that from that moment, you can play in roles that will not be the roles of your neighbors, family or co-workers. Find your comfort zone in yourself, and declare your emotional self-love. So be it. Amen.